If you look online, some people seem to be landing their first cybersecurity job every single day, whereas other people swear that it's impossible to land a cybersecurity job in this market. So who's correct? If the market is so bad, how is it that we see people landing their first cybersecurity job without any prior technical knowledge seemingly every single day? On the other hand, I get messages from people who tell me they've applied to hundreds of jobs and got no interviews. So which one is correct? Now, throughout my career, I've seen hundreds of candidates who have successfully landed their first cybersecurity job. Now, to explain to you why some people succeed whereas others fail, I need to take you back to the year 2024, and more precisely, November 2024. I was presenting at Australia's biggest cybersecurity conference, and I had a session titled Ask an Expert. So in that session, I was the expert and people were asking me cybersecurity questions, and the session quickly turned into me reviewing cybersecurity resumes. Now, I think in an hour I reviewed about 10 or 12 resumes, but 2 really stick out. Now, both candidates were entry-level candidates, and to protect their privacy, let's call one of them Jess and the other one is Jack. Jess was an international student in Australia. She was studying cybersecurity, but she had zero technical background and zero knowledge at the time. Now, Jack was a local student. He also didn't have any prior technical experience, and he told me he was planning to study IT and that he was working on his CompTIA Security Plus. Now, both had similar resume, and I gave them pretty much the same advice. I told them whether you decide to pursue studying in university or whether you want to work any job and save money, either way, I recommended they follow my beginner roadmap cybersecurity, which is all detailed in this video, by the way. Now, fast forward to October 2025, I went to the exact same cybersecurity conference. I was also presenting, and I managed to run into both of those students at different times. In 1 year time, Jess has actually managed to land her first cybersecurity job. She also posted about it on LinkedIn and she tagged me, whereas Jack, to my surprise, still haven't landed a cybersecurity job. Now, I'm not sharing this story with you to pick on anyone, but both Jack and Jess have a lot in common with people who both succeed and fail at landing a cybersecurity job. Therefore, I want to unpack why Jack failed at landing a cybersecurity job, and I can honestly narrow it down into 3 reasons. Reason number 1 is actually in 2024, Jack told me that he was following some creators who post hacking tutorials online. He wanted to tell me that because he thought I knew those creators, and I told him, yeah, I may have heard of them. In all honesty, I had no idea who he was talking about, but I told him that he needs to follow the roadmaps if he wants to land a cybersecurity job. But I've never met anyone or heard of anyone who landed a cybersecurity job by watching hacking tutorials. I'm sorry, but that's like me trying to be a professional football player by watching football on TV and eating pizza. It doesn't work that way. You need to be the one who's doing the studying and the learning. The person who you watch on live streams or on YouTube hacking tutorial, they might be a lovely person and highly knowledgeable, but when you watch them do these tutorials, you don't learn anything. It's like watching someone play video games. They get to play the video game, you're just watching it. So in my honest opinion, more often than not, those tutorials are a pure waste of time. And Jack is not the only one who does that. I've actually seen so many people do that, and then they go and complain that the cybersecurity market is tough. Now, the second reason why Jack failed and will continue to fail, in my opinion, is because in 2025, he told me that he signed up to a mentorship service. Now, I think it's a terrible idea, and I'm gonna explain to you why. I have personally tried doing mentorship calls because some of you have asked for it, but I had to quickly stop it for 2 reasons. Number 1 is my calendar is booked for the next 3 months with work commitment. So I'm extremely busy, and having mentorship calls on top of my work took a real toll on my health and personal life. So it wasn't really feasible. But more importantly, even when I did those mentorship calls, 99% of those calls ended up with me telling the individual that they need to follow the roadmaps in the videos. Usually when someone book a mentorship call, they think that their situation is so special, or that the country they live in is special, or perhaps their prior knowledge or prior degree will dictate that they need to do something different to land a cybersecurity job. Fortunately or unfortunately, the advice in the videos actually apply to your situation. No matter which country you're from, or which educational background you have, or what age you are, trust me, someone who's similar to you have watched my video and landed their first cybersecurity job. The advice applies to you. I get success stories every single day. So trust me when I tell you this, your situation is not as unique as you think it is. And therefore, you don't need a mentorship. What you need to do is to spend months, weeks, and even years doing those intermediate difficult cybersecurity training and certification. No amount of mentorship calls will do that hard work for you. Now, in saying that, I'm not saying all mentorship is bad. I have some friends who offer mentorship, but in my opinion, this should be a last resort. It shouldn't be the thing that you seek in the beginning. The roadmaps in my videos are actually sufficient for you to learn on your own and land your first cybersecurity job. And I know some of you will get upset when I say this, but I haven't seen many people land cybersecurity job after signing up to mentorship services. It really is not a common thing. I don't actually meet anyone in the cybersecurity industry who tell me that they've landed their cybersecurity job by paying someone to do mentorship for them to help them land the job. It's not a common thing in our industry, so please be careful before signing up to those services. You don't need them. Now, the third reason why Jack is not successful is something I've seen a lot of candidates do, which is unfortunately spending too much time on CompTIA. In 2024, Jack told me he was studying for CompTIA Security Plus, and 12 months later, he told me that, yeah, he passed CompTIA Security Plus. So he spent more than a year on just CompTIA Security Plus. This is actually extremely common. I see it a lot, especially from entry-level candidates. They get advice from CompTIA instructors telling them that CompTIA is foundation, so they go and they do CompTIA A Plus and Network Plus, and then Security Plus. That takes so much time. Especially if you're new to this field, you will find that the material is dry and a lot of it is actually outdated, and the way it's taught is extremely inefficient. So what ends up happening is you spend months, some people even spend 2 years, because they get distracted, they get bored, or maybe they find the material not engaging or even challenging, and they quit the journey altogether. Now, I'm not totally against doing CompTIA. You can do CompTIA Security Plus. My personal recommendation is don't do it at the beginning. Do it after you've done some practical hands-on training, so that dry material and theoretical material becomes easier because you have some practical understanding. So you're not memorizing things blindly, because when you memorize things blindly, I promise you, you will forget everything after the exam. And that's not the goal, because you need that knowledge and confidence to actually pass interviews and land cybersecurity jobs. But now the most important question is, how was it that Jess managed to land a cybersecurity job even though she was an international student, which is a lot harder than doing it when you are a local student? And I can summarize the answer into 3 important things. But before I get to that, I know I talked about practical hands-on learning, and one of the main platforms that I recommend repeatedly in my videos is TryHackMe, who have generously agreed to sponsor this video. And whenever I have a sponsored video, this means I was able to get you discounts. They're actually running their biggest deal of the year, which is 40% of their annual subscription. This is their Black Friday deal. It's running from 24th of November up until the 1st of December. You can access it using the code UNIXGUYBF. BF is for Black Friday, not best friend. If you purchase during the discount period, you get 40% off. If you use the code after the discount period, you get 25%. And after Black Friday, they have the advent of cyber, which is something I've been participating in for the last 3 years. This is a daily cybersecurity challenge where you get to learn something, practice, and win really valuable prizes. It's completely beginner friendly. I highly recommend you participate in it, and you will be seeing a video of mine in Advent of Cyber for TryHackMe in 2025. And the prices are actually insane. You can win things like MacBooks and iPads and Flipper Zero and TryHackMe subscription and even DEF CON tickets. I'm personally jealous of those prices, because if I wasn't creating videos for the challenge, I will definitely be participating. Now, the reason why I recommend TryHackMe in all of my videos, because they are simply practical hands-on training which speaks my language. It's the type of training that I recommend everyone to do, because they teach you skills that the cybersecurity market is actually looking for. All the labs and training, you can access it using web browser, so you don't need a big setup or a beefy laptop. And I highly recommend you actually do something like TryHackMe SAL1, which is their entry-level cybersecurity training. Or if you want to learn ethical hacking, then they have the P1 certificate. Both are quite challenging, but you will gain real hands-on experience that will give you the knowledge and confidence to apply to cybersecurity job, get to more interviews, and ultimately land your first cybersecurity job. I'll leave links to everything in the description box below. Check it out, and back to the video. Now, the first reason why Jess was successful in landing her first cybersecurity job is plain and simple. When I gave her the advice, she took notes and agreed to follow the advice as it is. She didn't do the back and forth that some people go to say, can I skip this certificate? Can I skip that training? Is my situation special? She was quiet, she took notes, and she did exactly what I've given her, which is a lot of work. It took a lot of time, a lot of effort, but she did what needed to be done. No fluffing around and no time wasting. Now, reason number 2 is kind of an unpopular opinion, but what Jess did is she put her focus on learning. She didn't go to cybersecurity events, she didn't go to meetup, she didn't do all of these nice things because she didn't have time. She was hyper focused on learning and studying. Now, this might sound like a contradiction to you because I encourage you to go to events and meet people and do all of these things. I always say that your number one priority is the learning, is the labs, is the passing intermediate cybersecurity certifications. Those events and meetups are nice to do occasionally when you have time. However, Jack spends all his time in these events. I see him everywhere, and that communicates to me that he's someone who's not really serious about learning. Maybe he enjoys the events more. That's a different story. But if you're serious about breaking into cybersecurity, then your full focus should be on learning and upskilling yourself. Events are not a way to upskill yourself. They are a way to network and meet people, that's fine, but your number one priority is learning and doing the labs, which I know is difficult, is challenging, and you will have self-doubt, but this is the way. I can't sugarcoat this for you. And the third and most important reason why Jess succeeded is that she wasn't selective about the first job to apply to. This is a mistake I see so many beginners make. They tell me that they absolutely want to be an ethical hacker, or they are adamant about digital forensic, or that they hate GRC, or they hate SOC analyst work. Whereas people who succeed, they accept the first job that they can get. Trust me when I tell you this, the best cybersecurity job for a beginner is the one that you can get. Your number one goal is to gain experience. It doesn't matter which specialization you gain experience in. If the first job you get offered is GRC or SOC analyst, even if you're extremely passionate about ethical hacking, you should accept that first job. You should take it, you should gain experience, and in the meantime, you can study ethical hacking or whatever it is that you like for the rest of your life. The sky is the limit. You can literally spend the rest of your life learning whatever your heart desires. But as a beginner who's trying to land their first cybersecurity job, you can't afford to be selective. I'm sorry, but the most efficient way for you is to accept the first job you get offered to get your foot in the door. From there, you can build your skills, you can do more certifications, perhaps you can move sideways within the company, but your first cybersecurity job is not the time to be selective. Jack actually told me a story about an alleged GRC project that he worked on that he didn't like. And I get it, we're not supposed to love everything that we work on, but that's not the right attitude. The best attitude that you can have as someone who's trying to land their first cybersecurity job is to be curious, be open-minded, and treat every opportunity as a learning exercise. If you get a project about vulnerability management, take it, learn everything, ask questions, be curious. Don't be hyper-fixated on one specialization or one pathway. This small shift in mindset can significantly improve your chances at landing your first cybersecurity job. And if you have no technical background and you're not sure where to start, I highly recommend you follow this video. It's a step-by-step roadmap that Jess and so many others have followed, which led them to successfully landing their first cybersecurity job. Check it out and I'll see you there.